Canada is a representative democracy. We elect people who assemble in a chamber where a majority of votes are required to pass legislation. At the end of each parliament, we know what was accomplished, and more importantly, who to blame. Most of the time. There have been 8 federal elections so far this century, and all but 3 of them have resulted in minority governments. Houses of Parliament controlled by a political party that won less than 50% of the seats. In a minority government, we have weakened platforms, where the only way any government can do anything bold and ambitious is to either play chicken against the opposition, accept ridiculous and expensive conditions from an otherwise irrelevant smaller party, or deal with obstructionists. And with a minority government, gridlock is more likely than progress is. But we don't have time for gridlock or conflicting agendas right now. We needed a government that had a clear mandate to react to crises like climate change. We need one that keeps its eye on the ball of the economy without wasting fruitless time and money responding to endless, pointless, partisan fishing trips. We need focus so we don't end up with a stagnant economy, as happened heading into 2015. Most importantly, if things are going to go right, we need a clear way to determine who is responsible. It's not reasonable to blame Justin Trudeau for anything right now, because every bill put forward has too many hands in it for him to be solely to blame. Now, some people think a minority government is more representative than a majority, because in theory, to get anything done, the government needs to seek consensus in the House of Commons, just to pass bills. But that's Pollyanna-ish at best, and it's not how things work. There's no consensus in a minority situation. The parties simply don't agree on enough policies for that to happen. When one party can have their cake and eat it too, by attacking the government on one matter for not doing enough, and then attacking the government on another version of the same thing for doing too much, without that tiny obstructionist headache ever being held accountable for their own part of holding things up and interfering with progress, and then somehow getting a pass from the media when they make the ridiculous claim they were the reason something happened, they're fighting for Canadians simply because they didn't defeat the government, then times are too partisan for any claim of there being consensus on anything. But what do I know? That's just my minority opinion. Join me tomorrow for the stats that back that opinion up. On this day in 1917, the National Hockey League was formed, with the original 5 teams being the Montreal Canadiens, Montreal Wanderers, Ottawa Senators, Quebec Bulldogs, and the Toronto Arenas. So the word national in NHL means Canadian? It's also Buy Nothing Day, Cake Day, Flossing Day, Sinkie Day, Systems Engineer Day, Maize Day, Your Welcome Giving Day, Black Friday, and Day of Listening. Am I the only one thinking that actually should have been Thanksgiving Day? And that's today's Duza Bear Digest. See you tomorrow!